Hi everyone. So in our last presentation session, we covered command structure. So we saw how you can enter a command, what are all the different facilities available when you are entering a command. So when you are giving command as an input to the command interpreter or the shell, you can also include command arguments along with the command. The command arguments can be options, it can be instructions, or it can be file name arguments. So we saw how we can include options and file name arguments along with the command. Also in the last session we saw how there are some exceptions while you are using command arguments. There are some commands which won't accept command arguments. We saw examples of those commands. So in this particular session, we shall try to see one more advanced level of commands, that is, are there any flexibility when you are using commands, or I can say the flexibility of command usage. So your Unix operating system provides certain degree of flexibility when you are using commands. So as a user, you should be given some amount of flexibility, then only the user will feel very much interested and fascinated to use a particular system. So your Unix operating system in a similar manner will provide some amount of flexibility for the user whenever he is making use of commands. So user can enter command in more than one way. Whenever a user is entering a command into the shell or command interpreter, the user can enter the command in more than one way. Your shell allows to enter your command or to use your command in three different ways. So the major three different ways in which your shell allows for a user to enter a command are: the user can combine the command. So that means if there are two commands, the user can combine those commands and then that particular command can be given as input to the shell. Then the shell will interpret and execute the command. Your command line can be split into multiple lines, or I can say it can be overflowed. That means in a single line, if it is not possible to give your command in a single line, it can be overflowed to the next line. It can split onto multiple lines. And also you can enter a command before a previous command has completed its execution. So these are the three different ways where in which user can make use of commands. Your shell provides these three major ways of command usage. That means you can combine your commands, you can split a command line into multiple lines, you can enter a command before your previous command has completed execution. So first we shall see how we can combine commands. So your Unix operating system allows you to specify more than one command in a single command line. So you can combine the command and you can specify those combined commands in a single command line. We shall try to understand how we can combine commands into a single command line with an example. So as you can see here, this is the command prompt. Then you are using some parentheses. Then you are performing an operation. You are giving a command called as word count on the file called as note. So when you perform word count on a file called as note, it will count the number of lines in this particular file, the number of words in this particular file, and also the number of characters present in this particular file. So you are combining this particular word count command with another command called as ls command. So what does ls minus l will do? This is an option. Minus l is an option. We saw how we can use option in the previous presentation session. So this will list all the attributes present with respect to this particular file called as note. So this is how you can combine two commands. Now you will be getting the outputs of this particular two commands separately. So as you can see here, these two commands are combined here using the semicolon and also the parenthesis. So first you are getting the output of word count. This particular note file has two number of lines, 3 words and 16 characters. Then we are getting the output of this particular command ls -1 It is listing the attributes of this particular file called as note. So first it is saying that note is an ordinary file. These are the permissions of user. These are the permissions of group. These are the permissions for others. Others are having only read permission. They are not having write and execute permission. These are the number of links to this particular file. This is the owner of the file. This is the group owner of the file. This is the number of file size, and this is the last modification date. So this is how you can combine command with the help of semicolon and parenthesis. One more advantage of combining command, or one more way of combining command, is you can give the output of one command as an input to the another command with the help of a filter called as pipeline. This type of filter is called as pipeline. So that means you are combining or pipelining these two commands with this particular command. The output of ls command will be given as input to the word count command. What will your ls command do? It will list all the files present in a directory. So for all those files, you are going to count the number of lines, the number of words, and the number of characters. This is how you can combine two commands with the help of a filter called as pipeline. So once all the files are listed, all those files are given as input to word count, then your word count will give me the number of lines, number of words, and the number of characters. So these are the two major ways in which you can combine your commands. The first way is with the help of semicolon and parenthesis. The second way is with the help of a filter, that is called as pipeline. The output of one particular command will be given as input to the second command. So as I had already explained, the second flexible way of using your command is your command line can be split or overflown into multiple lines. Your Unix terminal width is restricted to maximum of 80 characters. That means a command line can take up a maximum of 80 characters. Once that maximum 80 characters threshold is reached, then your command line or the characters will move on to the next line. So your shell or command interpreters will allow command line to overflow or split into multiple lines since 80 characters has been reached. So as you can see in this particular example, this is how the overflow or splitting up into multiple lines takes place. As you can see here, you are trying to display this particular message. This is a 3-line text message. Echo is the command you can use in order to display any text message. So this is the output you are getting. This is a 3-line text message. With the help of echo command, you are displaying this particular message. This is the command prompt. As you can see here, this is the first prompt $. When you move on to the next line, the second prompt will be greater than symbol. It won't be $, because you are still giving the input for this particular command. So you won't be getting $ as the command prompt. You will be getting this particular greater than symbol as the command prompt. So when you move on to the third line also, greater than symbol is the command prompt. So here your command line will end. Once you quote, end the double quote, your command line will end. Then it will produce me an output called as, this is a 3-line text message. So this is how you can execute your echo command. Your echo command is mainly used to display the contents of text you are giving. So if it can split onto multiple lines, when it gets split into multiple lines, the command prompt won't be $, it will be greater than symbol. This is how you can split a command line into multiple lines. And the last way in which you can use your command is you can enter a command before a previous command has completed its execution. That means your Unix operating system provide a full duplex terminal. What do you mean by duplex? 2. 2 means you can enter one more command before previous command has completed its execution. And also full duplex means your terminal or the shell will ensure that what are all the commands you are entering, that will be interpreted and executed. They won't be let go of. So all the commands you are keying in, all the commands you are giving into the command interpreter or shell will be interpreted by them and it will get executed. Especially this case will be very useful when you are executing a long program. When you are executing a command which is a very long program, then it will take a huge amount of time. In such a case, you can give one more command before that long program gets executed. In that case also, your shell will be in a position to accept the second command and execute both those commands simultaneously. So that is what has been stated here. As you can see, when you run a long program, the prompt won't appear until program execution is complete. In such a case, you can use subsequent commands by entering through the keyboard without waiting for the prompt. Prompt ಬರಕ್ಕೆ wait ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾ subsequent commands ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು, because your shell is busy executing the long program. So in such a case, you can give other command without waiting for the command prompt to return. So these are the three different ways in which flexibility is given by the shell to the user. So what are all the three different ways? The user can combine the commands while he is giving the commands. There are two ways to combine the commands. This is the first way and this is the second way. A command line can be overflown or split into multiple lines. And the last one is the user can give subsequent commands without waiting for the prompt to appear. So this completes this particular presentation session. So far we have covered 7 presentation session. The first 2 presentation session were completely general and with respect to the brief syllabus explanation. In the last 5 presentation session, we covered some amount of syllabus. So go through all the things, all are very much important from exam point of view. If there are any doubts with respect to anything, you can ping me. So, and this is very much required subject from your career point of view, as most of the IT industries will rely on Unix operating system. So if you become familiar on using this particular operating system, it will be easier once you get onto the job. So thank you.